Ashe, welcome to another classic, y'all. Welcome. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the effects of alcohol on the human anatomy. You could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here. A safe space, a divine space, you know? And I want to reiterate what I might have said in some videos earlier this year. Guns, alcohol, violence, hate, disunity, there is nothing divine about that. There's nothing holy or beautiful about walking around with your pants hanging off your ass, toting a gun, calling yourself a man. Yeah, I said calling yourself a man. There's nothing divine about getting drunk all motherfucking day, okay? Nothing. You're doing nothing but ruining your organs. You're doing nothing but ruining your anatomy. You're doing nothing but ruining your brain. You're ruining yourself. You're ruining your life, okay? And y'all know what I'm talking about. Those of you who indulge in a little, sipping a little wine in the evening time, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that drink that hard rock liquor that's tearing their livers up. Just eating your liver up, man. And that's the first organ I'm going to start with, is the liver. Alcohol consumption has a wide range of negative effects on the human body. First of all, your liver. Alcohol is a primary acid that goes and attacks the liver. Alcohol is primarily metabolized in the liver. It's broken down in the liver. And excessive alcohol consumption can lead to liver damage and disease. Conditions like fatty liver, cirrhosis, fibrosis, alcoholic hepatitis, these things can develop. Cirrhosis is the most severe form of liver damage, and it can be life-threatening. You're drinking all that alcohol. Your central nervous system. Alcohol acts as a depressant on the central nervous system. It affects your brain, your functioning, your behavior. Alcohol has effects on your judgment, okay? Alcohol can cause impaired judgment, decreased inhibitions, slurred speech, coordination problems. Prolonged alcohol abuse can lead to serious conditions such as alcoholism, alcohol dependence, and alcohol-related brain damage, which can result in memory loss. You start forgetting who people are and all that shit. Like a lot of my family members, yeah, they doing all that drinking. That's why. They forgot who I was. You know what I'm saying? You need to put that damn bottle down and pick up more divine things. It affects your cognitive impairment, okay? The way you move, your motor skills. And it can even permanently cause brain damage, y'all. Alcohol affects your cardiovascular system. Alcohol abuse. So we're seeing here it affects all systems, okay? Alcohol abuse can have negative effects on the cardiovascular system. It can increase blood pressure and heart rate, leading to hypertension and an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, and heart failure. Long-term heavy drinking can weaken your heart muscles, causing alcoholic cardiomyopathy. I guess that's how you pronounce it. And cause irregular heart rhythms. It affects your gastrointestinal system, your stomach. Alcohol irritates the lining of your stomach and can lead to ulcers, gastritis, or inflammation. It can also interfere with the absorption of important nutrients, minerals, and vitamins. Okay? So I don't care how good you eat. You can eat vegan 24/7. You know what I'm saying? You can have a straight seaweed diet. If you're hitting that bottle, that's all to no effect. You're eating healthy for nothing. You're not getting any of your nutrients, but you're getting that bottle. Yeah. So it can drain you of your nutrients, your minerals, and your vitamins when you eat your fruits and your vegetables in your digestive system. And it can potentially cause malnutrition. Alcohol. Yeah. Liquor. Chronic alcohol abuse is associated with an increased risk of pancreatitis, a painful inflammation of the pancreas. Okay? We gotta leave that bottle alone. That's what a lot of this is saying. Shout out to all the spiritual family in the house, and love to the goddess. Immune system. Alcohol weakens your immune system, making individuals more susceptible to infections and diseases. It impairs the function of the immune cells and reduces the body's ability to fight off pathogens. Long-term alcohol abuse increases the risk of respiratory. I told y'all, it affects every system. Whether we know it or not, there's a lot of shit we don't know. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to break down and give you that knowledge so you can sponge it in and you'll be more wise and divine in your choice making. Long-term alcohol abuse increases the risk of respiratory infections, pneumonia, and other infectious diseases. Alcohol can disrupt your hormone production and your hormone regulation in the endocrine system. Chronic alcohol abuse can lead to hormonal imbalances, such as decreased testosterone levels in men. Okay? And estrogen with the women. Menstrual irregularities in women occur abusing alcohol, and fertility issues are caused by alcohol. Next, your kidneys. So we were moving on to the kidneys are a part of the digestive system. They're a part of what pushes waste out of our bodies. Alcohol increases your urine production, and it can lead to dehydration. Excessive alcohol consumption can strain your kidneys, potentially causing kidney damage or failure. Alcohol-related kidney disease can also occur. Your pancreas. We just covered pancreas, but I'm doubling up on this. Chronic alcohol abuse can lead to pancreatitis, or inflammation of the pancreas. Pancreatitis can cause severe abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, and it can be life-threatening. Cancer. Alcohol consumption is associated with an increased risk of developing several types of cancer, including liver, mouth, throat, cancer of the esophagus, the breast, and colon cancers. The risk is higher with heavy and prolonged alcohol abuse. Put that bottle down. It's too hot for that anyway. You be done passed out. You be done fell slap on your ass trying to get drunk in this kind of weather. Alcohol abuse is often linked to mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, and an increased risk of suicide. It can worsen existing mental health conditions and impair overall psychological well-being. So that's telling you right there, if you already have an existing mental health condition, alcohol will make it worse. It's going to make things much worse. The last stage of alcoholism is cirrhosis of the liver. Right there. The God is dropping knowledge on your head like bombs. Kaboom. You know what I'm saying? So if you're already dealing with something mentally, it's best to stay away from that bottle. Physical dependence and addiction. Alcohol is an addictive substance, rather. And long-term excessive use can lead to physical dependence and addiction. It can lead to an addiction. Alcohol withdrawal syndrome can occur when a person abruptly stops drinking, cold turkey, leading to symptoms such as tremors, anxiety, hallucinations, and seizures. Okay? Now, to cap the video off and to end it, we're gonna, how am I gonna say this, man? Imagine in your mind alcohol going down your throat. You're ingesting it, and it goes all the way out of your body. We're gonna take that trip right now. Okay, we're gonna become, in other words, we're gonna become that little swallow of gin, that little swallow of Hennessy, that little swallow of Hennessy or hen that somebody drinks. We're gonna jump into that little gulp of Hypnotic or Douce. And we're going to go down their esophagus, and we're going to see what alcohol does. From ingestion to digestion, guys. And I'm the first guy to do this. Basically, once you're addicted, it's hard to stop because your body has adjusted to think it needs it. Exactly. And it's toxic. Alcohol is nothing more than a toxic, something you cure things with. CURE. When I cure my tinctures, when I go and get herbs out of nature out here, and I want to put them in a mason jar, and I want to preserve them, or I want to get the essential oils out of a certain herb, you use alcohol for that, y'all. Yeah, that was the original purpose of alcohol with the indigenous people anyway. We used it for healing. We used it for drawing salves and what do they call balms out of certain herbs and flowers, and those essential oils out of that lavender, okay, and out of that jasmine plant. That was the original purpose of alcohol. So when you're drinking alcohol, it's pulling all the essential things out of you, okay? In a nutshell, everything that you need is being depleted when you grab that bottle. Okay, let's start with ingestion. And I'm gonna come back on. Y'all hit me up with more. The more topics and the more we talk and the more conversations we have, I'll look down at the text and I'll say, well, I can do it on that. You know, it might be something that you were talking about, and you know, you might have a little knowledge on it, but you want more. And we conversate back and forth, that dialogue, and I look down at the text and I'm like, whoa, that would be a good topic. Alcohol. That's how we operate, you know. He said, and your body will shut down if you stop drinking once that person is addicted. Wow. That's crazy. That's why I never got on it, you know. To be honest with you, my grandfather had a drinking problem. You know, he had the native in him. He had a drinking issue, and I always vowed that I would never. And I watched my dad. My dad would drink, and my mom. I don't want to be like nothing that came before me. Okay, anything that came before me, once I pick up a quality or a trait, and you know it's leaning more towards the toxic side than the divine side, I gotta side with the divine side. I do not want to drink like my dad. I'm not going to drink at all, basically, after watching my dad and hearing about my grandfather, because I never met him, but I heard he had a drinking issue, and he had a cancer. You know, cancer visited him. So I'm immune to all of that. I'm breaking those generational curses. Let that person ingest this alcohol, and we're going to jump into that drop of Henny and go down their throat. Ingestion. When alcohol is ingested, it enters the stomach and is quickly absorbed into the bloodstream through the walls of the stomach and the small intestine. Alcohol is rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream, and its effect can be felt within minutes. The rate of absorption can be influenced by various factors, including the concentration of the alcohol in the beverage, the presence of food in the stomach of the individual, and individual factors such as body weight and metabolism. Once in the bloodstream, alcohol is transported through the body, and it affects each organ and each system. That's what we don't understand. The things that we put into our bodies affect each. I don't care what kind of meat you eat, what kind of vegetables or fruit you eat. Everything you put into your body affects everything. Okay? Everything that we put into ourselves affects everything. So when I walk by the fridge, sometimes I'll stop. I'll grab me a few berries. You have to be mindful of stuff. You know, back in the day, I would grab a bag of chips. You know, back in the day, I would grab some Pringles or some Ruffles. Now, I'm on the herbs. I'm on the berries. Every time I stop by the refrigerator, I'm grabbing 5, 6, 7 berries and munching on those instead of 5, 6 potato chips. Just got to be mindful and know that everything that we put in our body affects us, good or bad. Okay, once in the brain, in the I said in the brain. Once in the bloodstream, alcohol is transported throughout the body and affects every organ and system. Alcohol acts as a depressant on the brain and the nervous system. It affects the levels of neurotransmitters in the brain, leading to changes in mood, cognitive behavior, and basic overall behavior patterns. Alcohol impairs judgment, coordination, and reaction in time, making activities such as driving extremely dangerous. Y'all be careful out there on them roads, because people do drink and still jump behind the wheel, okay? You might not do it. I might not do it. But we just have to be on alert. On to the liver. The liver is responsible for metabolizing the alcohol. It produces enzymes, amino acids, cells, primarily alcohol dehydrogenase to break down the alcohol. And it produces a toxic substance and further more substance and acids to metabolize this alcohol. It does a number on trying to, tame this alcohol for the body to be broken down properly in the body. And that's what takes a toll on the liver. All of that work on that alcohol. Prolonged and excessive alcohol consumption can overwhelm the liver, leading to liver damage and diseases such as fatty liver, alcoholic hepatitis, fibrosis, and cirrhosis. The stomach. So the Henny has got down to the stomach now, y'all. It's tearing up that stomach lining. Kicking ass. Alcohol irritates the lining of the stomach, which can lead to inflammation, gastritis, and even ulcers. This irritation can cause symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, and stomach pain. On to the pancreas. Alcohol can stimulate the pancreas to produce toxic substances, leading to inflammation and damage. Chronic alcohol abuse can result in pancreatitis, a painful condition that can affect digestion and nutrient absorption. We just talked about that. No matter what you eat, if you're hanging on to that bottle, you're not going to get your nutrients. You're not going to get your minerals. You're not going to get your vitamins. On to the digestive system. And I'm going to read what you wrote after I finish this one. The digestive system. Alcohol can interfere with the digestive process. It can affect the secretion of enzymes and the absorption of nutrients in the small intestine, leading to malnutrition and deficiencies in vitamins and minerals. That's basically doubling up on what we just said. Alcohol robs you of all of that, okay? Just to put it in perspective for you. Alcohol takes away from, if I eat seaweed and I turn around and drink some alcohol, it's just as good as I never ate the seaweed. Because the alcohol is going to come in and ravish all of the minerals, all of the nutrients that very mineral-rich food seaweed has. Okay? It's one of the most mineral and nutrient and vitamin-rich foods that you can get from the bottom of the ocean. Roasted seaweed. But I can eat that all day. But if I'm stuck on that bottle, all those nutrients, all those minerals go to the can. They go to the trash can. Word. The wind blew the phone over, man. That's a sign. That's a deep sign. Let me read what you wrote. Yep, my grandpa too, and my dad, and probably now my dad's dad was a he was spiritual. He would help people. He was almost like a pastor. He had his spiritual family that he had together in Ohio, the Cleveland area to be exact. That's my dad's dad. He was, if you ask me, I'm more like him. He was spiritual, and a lot of people called him like a preacher, or he had a healing type energy to him. Yep, my grandpa too. And my mom's dad, that's a whole nother thing. My mom's side of the family is the most toxic. Word up. I wouldn't get on here and say it if it wasn't so. My mom's side of the family is that toxic shit. Straight up. My dad's side, I got a chance to go up to Michigan. My dad was from Detroit. East Detroit. Shout out to Eminem. Shout out to Motown. Shout out to Berry Gordy, Michael Jackson. Anybody that signed with Motown, because my dad used to love Motown. But I would go up there and visit with them, and I didn't get that energy of toxicity while I was up there. You know, it might have been toxic. It might have been. East Detroit ain't the prettiest, you know, street in the city. So, but still, there was more like you know, you're away from all that toxic shit. You know what I'm saying? You're away from that part. This might be a new version of toxicity, but you know, you can handle this. This is fresh. That old stagnant shit, man. It's deep rooted. It is deep rooted. And like I was telling you earlier, there's a spell. There has been a spell. I'm brave enough and I'm man enough to come on here and say it. There was a spell placed on the people of this land, man. Okay? And I know that might be a hard pill for some people to swallow. It's not a hard pill for me because I see how fucked up things are within the family dynamics and everywhere else. But there was a deep spell put on the masses back in the Gap. I'll just say that. And it threw people off. It threw them for a loop. People were doing shit. You know you ain't had no business. You knew you were supposed to be on your divine journey. You out there with a bottle to your lip. That's that spell. Somebody sit down and try to tell you something for your own good. And they haven't done anything to you. They have done no harm to you. And you're not willing to listen to them. That's that mofo spell. Okay? Racism. Bigotry. The mistreatment of feminines. You know what I'm saying? The disrespect of the divine feminine. There was a spell put, man. You know what I'm saying? I've put it all together. I've added it all up. They put a spell on the people that were, you know, locked into that vibration, that fear, you know, hate, envy, jealousy, that was going to succumb, that they were going to succumb to that in this day and time, and that would still be prevalent in their lives. The ones of us that are in the spiritual elect, so to speak, we see this standing outside of that bullshit. We see what's going on. So, you know, there's no way that we're going to fall prey or you know, victim to something like that. But there was a spell cast for the weak one, for the you know how they say you're only strong as your weakest link. The weakest links of us are under a spell right now. And it was cast long ago. Maybe that's what I should have said from the beginning. Anybody that seems, I don't know, like they too distracted or too locked into the matrix to, you know, improve themselves and wake up and shake themselves and pull themselves up by the bootstrap and put that bottle down, they under a spell, man. We can't save everybody. That's why I stopped going live in such a frequency like I used to. These motherfuckers just lost, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, even with my mom, you know, if you lost, you lost. Word up. If you are lost, you are just lost. It's up to you to get found. I can't get you found. I can come on here and talk all day, but I'm only talking to certain individuals. The people that have already did the process that they were too busy or too drunk to get done. These are the people I'm talking to. The people I'm talking to know I'm talking to them. Okay? Y'all are my spiritual family, and I love y'all. I've met too many people that drink and drive. I've met too many people that drink and drive regularly, and I've heard too many tragedies come from drinking and driving. Oh yeah, most definitely. We already know. Making me crave seaweed. I'm about to go to the pantry. I was about to go get some. For real. I spent time in ATL, and this liquor store would give a to-go cup ice when you bought alcohol. Yep, they do that. They give you to-go cups when you buy your liquor. They give you a little cup of ice. They want you to drink. They want us killing ourselves. Okay? I'm just going to be straight up with that's part of that whole spell thing I was talking about. Wow, that's crazy. It also so accessible and society accepted. It is. Currently snacking on seaweed. I'm about to finish this video up and go get me some and chill out here in nature for a minute. I need to actively start snacking better. Do it. It ain't nothing to it but to do it. You see us on here talking? That spell could be trauma and coping too. This battery's low, so it's kind of dim. The light on the screen is kind of dim. That's why I'm having. And generational pain and coping from the pain of genocide. Yeah, they cope from that grab that bottle to cope with what our ancestors went through. That's not helping nothing, but that's what they call it, quote unquote, dealing with the pain. I believe this too about the spell. I had never seen anything like it. Presumed it was to drink right away. They also were behind bulletproof glass. Wow. Yeah, they have bulletproof glass in those liquor stores. They do. Wow, it's like it's perpetuating a cycle. It is. Dehydration. Alcohol increases your urine production, and that can lead to dehydration. It inhibits the release of a hormone that helps you retain water. Okay? And this causes increased water loss from the body. Your immune system, down to the immune system. Alcohol weakens the immune system, making individuals more susceptible to infections and diseases and viruses in this piece. It can impair the function of immune cells and reduce the body's ability to fight off pathogens. You can't fight cold enough when you're gripping that bottle. You know what I'm saying? Excessive alcohol consumption can disrupt hormone production. It moves on down to the hormones, y'all. I gotta let this phone get a little juice, so one more after this one. It can lead to hormonal imbalances, such as decreased testosterone levels in men and menstrual irregularities in women. These women wonder why they period off. Put that damn bottle down. And they wonder why they period so painful. Put that damn bottle down. And you wonder why you spotting so much and bleeding so much. Put that damn bottle down. That bottle affects every system of the body. We just covered it. Prove me wrong. Comment below. Your heart and your circulatory system is last, y'all. So this is the nail in the coffin. Alcohol can have both short-term and long-term effects on the cardiovascular system. It can increase blood pressure and heart rate, which is bad for the human anatomy, leading to hypertension and an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, and heart failure. Long-term heavy drinking can weaken the heart muscle and cause irregular heart rhythms. Okay? It is crucial to note that the severity of these negative effects vary depending on, your body weight, your metabolism, how tall you are, such as this, how much fat you have in your blood. All of these things come into play. One person might take 1 cup of alcohol and feel a little tipsy. The next person might take a cup of alcohol and it might put them flat on their ass. It depends on the individual. Moderate alcohol consumption may not have severe effects. When I say moderate, I'm talking wine. I ain't talking about no Henny. I'm not talking about Douce. I'm not talking about Casamigos. I'm talking about grape juice, basically. Fermented grape juice, wine. That was supposed to be our liquor. That was supposed to be our alcohol. When they talk about, drinking and being merry in those ancient texts, in those ancient tomes, they're talking about wine. That was it. It was supposed to go no further. The second it went further, these motherfuckers lost their rabbit ass mind. They went to killing one another, grabbing guns, abusing their wives. All kind of shit started happening. But that's because it wasn't moderately used. Moderate alcohol consumption won't have those effects, such as wine and grape juice, things such as this. But excessive, prolonged alcohol abuse can significantly harm the human anatomy. It damages the body, whether you want to accept it or not. I'm here giving you the facts, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. It is important to be aware of the potential risks of alcohol and drinking and driving and making informed decisions regarding alcohol consumption. I say to my spiritual family, I told y'all I was gonna be coming with it. You just have to hit me up, give me something to work with, and I'm gonna go with it, Right now I'm gonna let this phone get a little juice, and I'm gonna encourage all who click on this video, man. Don't get hung up in alcohol. Do not get hung up in alcohol, because you'll forget about the things that are most important to you, and that's yourself. This ain't about nobody outside of you. This ain't about your cousins or your son or your daughter. It's about you taking care of you. That's what I'm here for. Ashe, Phoenix Queen, Sarah Darling. My spiritual family is in the house. You know what I'm saying? So I got to send an Ashe to all of our ancestors. Word. One Divine King, the Phoenix Queen. Y'all check us out on YouTube at The Real Resurrected. It's been more than a pleasure. Stay grounded and stay away from that bottle.